Uh, Alright, hello, and welcome everyone back to Galactic Science. I've done a bit of work around the house, base, area, while I was away, and I was away for a little while. So I got quite a bit accomplished, although I did it all in one sitting anyway. I just haven't gotten back to recording for a little bit. I spent 8 hours probably, just working on the base. Cutting down trees and stuff. I did it all legit, I didn't jump the time forward or anything. I worked through day and night cycle. I farmed all the trees, quote unquote, by hand. There's a machine we have, all set up to deal with that, so it's not really a problem. So yeah, this whole base I built up. There's a few things that have changed. I hope I don't miss them, but I'm going to try to tell you everything that I've done in the time we were away, which would be short for you guys, but longer for me. So I've forgotten some things, probably. What has changed? Alright, so let's start with, for one, Carpenter's Hammer. I adjusted the hammer so that it doesn't lose durability for usage. So I only need to craft one of these now, and there you go. This one's the hammer I will have forever. Unless there's there's no durability on them at all. So I'll never have a problem with that. Chisels still have durability. I left that on. I don't think I'll ever change that because they're much more reasonable. The problem with Carpenter's Hammer is that changing the orientation of these costed me, and I didn't like that. Breaking a block is one thing, but orientation changes, not so much. Also, it's becoming nighttime. I picked a wonderful time to start. We'll go in creative mode and check out the base anyway, but what has changed? I moved the grinder, so that's over somewhere else now. I'll show that off in a bit. It's hard to remember exactly everything that's changed. There's not really been all that much, but I know there was two things that let me hold up. Let me pull up my paper here with my recording schedule on it, because not my recording schedule, but my recording. So it should be right there. It is. Okay. So what have I done? Okay, there we go. Now I remember. Changed the texture on the doors. I wanted to have a crisscross, not a crisscross, but is it futuristic? No, it's probably not futuristic. It's probably just metal. I don't really know what that would be. Hazard? I wanted something like this on the bottom of the door, but only in this little square, so I painted it in there. It didn't work, however. The textures overlapped, so it was very weird. And it spazzed out all the time when you moved around, so unfortunately I had to remove it and just accept the fact that the door will look like this. This is the door I'm going to go with. I changed the glass so it looks a bit more similar to the other glass style we have. So these doors are much better looking now, so that's good. The hammer I talked about. The layout is what I did with the place. The sand, I moved that somewhere else. Ah, yes, the sorting machine. Now, you may remember that I talked about the sorting system that is in... What was it called? Inventory, maybe? No, not inventory. It was storage or something. Modular. Alright. The modular storage system that I was talking about earlier on, and how it was similar to Applied Energistics' storage. Unfortunately, there is something wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with the modular system exactly. Like this block, right? If I take this block and put it in my inventory, and I put it down, there's a chance that it'll work, and everything will be fine for that one block. But the thing is that each part of it, each part of the storage system, has a risk involved. I don't quite know why, and it scares me about modular systems in general, because who knows, maybe these things might break on me one day, but let's hope not. But basically, if I put down the storage somewhere, there is a chance it'll work, and it could be within these 3 blocks or something. It could be a chance that if I put it down, it won't work, and it'll crash the game, and that I have to remove it with MC Edit, which I don't want to do. an awful lot, but it would be something that might have to happen if I should mess up and put one down. I don't really understand how it works. Like on this block it might work, and I think it works indefinitely, like forever, and here it may not. And then here it might, and here it might, and then there it may not. I don't quite know how it works. I'm not touching them, unfortunately, though. So when we do sorting, we're gonna have to go with the other sorting system that they want us to. They want us to check it out anyway, so I'm fine with it. But I'm not gonna be able to use the other storage system. So they want us to use this sorting upgrades and stuff like that, make sorting chests. I can fairly understand them. I looked up a bit of it, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think it's about it. I didn't really do all that much modification to the game other than changing a few settings here and there that needed to be changed. I just don't remember all of them. But other than that, there might be one or two items I've added, and there's definitely been a change to the facility. For one, you might notice that there are pressure plates around these doors now, so that these doors automatically open. Oh, this is the other thing I changed. Airlock systems. When we get a system that actually makes it so that this area is sealed and has air supplied to it, these doors will now work. These used to not work. It didn't really register these as a block or an airlock or anything like that. So these wouldn't work as airlocks originally, but I changed it so that it registers this block. The problem is, because it's Carpenter's block, and it's very special, it only works up here, right? These are the blocks that I placed. These, however, aren't blocks. Now, this entire door is the same block, so these count. So this would work. This would seal. But if I open it, these blocks are considered this block. So while it's open, it's still sealed. So that's a problem, because if I open it to space, that shouldn't work, but it will. And the other issue is that if I stand underneath this doorway, so if I stand here, it's very weird, the block design, so I will actually suffocate in this spot, because this spot won't be considered as air. If I fill this one and this one with air, this won't work. I will still die here from suffocation. But I'll be walking around with my suit anyway. I can't see it because of the thing. But I'll be walking around with my oxygen suit on still, nonetheless. So it won't be a problem, and I won't take damage, because it happens like immediately. As soon as you hit through this area, it would suffocate me. So it won't be a problem for me, but if I walk around without a suit, I would take damage every time I go through these doorways, which would be very bad. But aside from that, I mean, they're pretty functional. You kind of have to make do with what there is. I knew there would probably be some problem, and there's only so much understanding there is, because not all the mod makers work together. I would love it if Galacticraft eventually, kind of learns how to deal with this, but it is complicated to deal with. I suppose it would have to just know what the Carpenter's block is normally, and then go from there and make a special rule that only uses the top ones. But I don't know. Something to think about for the people who made Galacticraft. And it would be amazing to have them work as airlocks, because I like them a bit more than the normal airlock. It's better looking. It's a bit more space efficient. So it's way worth it to go with these rather. But that was something I changed in config. That was the other thing I didn't remember at first. I think that's it. I don't think I crafted anything special or anything either. Okay. So now that we've gone over a few of the things that I've changed, let's go. There's also one more thing I changed in the base, but we'll go over that as we come across it. So now the base has been built up a bit more. So last time we were here, all we had were these two sections, this main section, and the two sections I added on. But they weren't finished. I didn't put glass on them, I don't think. And that was about it. Just these two facilities, but I wanted to add more to it, so I added those 3 buildings in the off hours that no one saw. And they're pretty good looking on the outside, I think. I did a pretty okay job, I think, with how I designed it. It looks interesting. The thing is, I want it to be modular in the sense that each one of these segments is its own facility, its own unique character, if I can. But there's some base rules to it. Like, this is a basic setup right here. There's a flat roof and flat floor with walls. Pretty simple design, so this is a standard build here. And then this is the secondary standard build I'd go for, one that's domed, much like that one. These are the 2 base ones that I would use if I ever make anything without thinking or anything like that. So, if I'm ever not original, it's during those. But a lot of the time I'm going to give them their own unique things. So, like, this is the farm, which I added. And I started growing watermelons because I would starve off camera if I didn't. But there's still more to do with the farm. I still need to put crops in, and I'm going to do that probably right away, and we'll be a part of that. And then we'll pretty much be caught up with everything. I didn't do much other than literally putting down wood blocks all over the place, and putting in all of the carpenter's wedges that needed to be put in. This is the power facility. This is where the star will go, the power core there. And this is the modular grinder and stuff like that. That's where the modular machines will go, right here. And we'll go in and look at them now. There are a lot of monsters out here. Alright, well, go ahead and go out of creative mode now. We can look them over. Let me get some, what do I want to grow? Do I want to grow wheat? Wheat's okay. No, it's not. It's not really that it's not that good. Do I have carrots? I think I have 1 carrot. Yes. I want to grow carrots, probably, because they're the most food efficient. I think they're like 2 hunger each. So it'll be worthwhile to grow. Oh, also, there should be signs. Yes, there we go. So there's the lumber farm. Let's, I think we'll go to this section last, so let's go to this side first. Oh, also there's a basement now. So here we go. We got the mining shaft here. This is where I was last. The last we saw was just a hole in the ground, and probably 1 block deep, I think it was, and then just surface. Now it's deeper. It goes down to an actual facility now. Also, there's now a setup that I've got for the ladders. I was going to do like 3 ladders or so, but I kind of wanted like light as you go down it. And what I decided is I would have 2 ladders, and then each spot where those little lights are, those little torches, the glowstone torches, those will be a lamp block or something of the sort. Maybe just a light panel, probably. One of these or so. I might just slap it on the side. That might be pretty good, I don't know. It'll just be like a small square on it, so it might look good. And so this just extends down into the basement. And down here is another ladder to catch me on the fall down. This is the main section. This is the main mining hub. So each one of these doors leads into a section where I could go mining or so, or whatever I want to do, you know. So it's not bad. I'm probably not going to use this all that much because there's not that much to do on the moon. But it's okay. This'll do. So I don't look forward to using this, but I look forward to the look of it when it's done, because... Oh, actually, I think I might have forgotten to put in a few things. Did I? I might have. I think... That or it never occurred to me, but I think it would look good if I did something like this, maybe. Around the sides? Something like that. Yeah, maybe. I might have forgotten to do that. So I'll probably put some wedges down on these corners here. And then, this place will look nice and, weird. in comparison to Minecraft's normal build. So it's quite nice. It's just a little octagon down here, and this little obelisk ladder so that I can get up to the ladders, because I can't actually jump up to them. But I could just jump onto this spike thing here and then jump onto the ladder. It's pretty good. So it's a nice little mining shaft. I'm pleased with it. I need to go through it and sort out these walls and make them better when I replace the floor panels and stuff. It's going to be fun replacing this ground, because it's not going to be cheap in the slightest. But it's okay. It'll do. There's a central hub if we go back to it. Here we got the modular machines. And in here, what we have is the modular crusher. So it's created sand for us. Take the rest of it, I guess. I left a bit of wood in there. It's probably the only thing I'm going to use, because wood's really the most fuel efficient, because it will burn and then it won't regenerate or so. So I'm not going to waste my time with that. Also, I noticed something about the modular crusher. I was thinking about it a bit wrong. It's true that you want your speed to be up percentage-wise, your efficiency up percentage-wise, and your multiplicity up number-wise. But the thing is, I was looking at the wrong way to make it. So, if we look at cobblestone as a value, I was talking about how I wanted to make one out of obsidian, I believe it was, because speed went up and efficiency went up. The thing is, this is actually a terrible substance to use, because one, its efficiency goes up, and that is true, it does go up, so that would be worth it efficiency-wise, but I want speed to go down, actually, not up, because this is a modifier, so this will turn speed, it'll turn the negative modifier on speed. I'm not quite sure what the hell I'm talking about. Basically, you want your speed modifier to be down, so that your speed goes up. And you want your efficiency modifier to go up, so that your efficiency goes up. That's basically the gist of what's going on here. Multiplicity is pretty straightforward, because it's pretty obvious what you want for that, just up. But also, I didn't really understand these numbers, and they're still a little bit elusive. But basically, it starts at 0. You got your amount it goes up by, so I guess 250 is the efficiency. So that goes, it's 250 up, and this is only 150 as the frame. I kind of wish there was a standardized build for this, though. Because if this were 250, this and this would not look the same, and you'd be like, oh, that's why Obsidian's better efficiency-wise. But you can't tell that right now because they're using different numbers. This not being standard breaks the game. It makes it so that you can't really understand it. Another thing that could be standard is this thing. This number here, I think represents how many blocks you need of this to change. So, basically, this being a lower number is a good thing, which is why Diamond 21 is better than Obsidian 24. And basically, the best structure you can make is a diamond structure. I've actually got this written on the back of this paper, too. Alright. So, the best structure is a diamond structure and a gold structure, because speed goes up. I mean, this is terrible. The gold block is terrible in one respect, in that speed will be destroyed if you make a fully gold one. But if you make a fully diamond one, it is the best setup. This is literally the best look that you want right here. So a full diamond one would be the best thing you could do. But gold has better multiplicity, I believe. I have found. Yeah, I think so. I don't quite know how it works exactly, but basically if I combine gold and diamond, I can get 6 times the amount. So, way worth it to combine these two. But, when we start off, what we're going to do is we're going to make stained clay. We're going to make a stained clay machine for all of our things. Because the speed is good, and the efficiency is really good for a whole stained block thing. And I believe Do I want to? I'm not sure. The thing is that there's also these flat modifier things, like emerald is just multiplicity, but really crappy, so I wouldn't waste my time. Coal is good for efficiency, so if you make your structure like half out of coal, then your efficiency goes up. But really, I don't know if it's all that worth it a lot of the time. And then there's also one for just speed, which is stone. So it's efficient to use stone to some degree, but not really. So yeah, it's not really all that amazing. So basically what you want to do is either make a whole multi-block structure of stained clay, or if you're rich, diamond, if you're going to make it one substance. And if you're going to make it the most efficient, literally it is perfect. It's got the highest speed you can have that I can think of out of my combinations, the highest efficiency you can get, and the highest multiplicity, all together. Now, if you do an all-diamond one, your speed or efficiency is going to be slightly lower than an all-gold one. But your multiplicity will also be lower. So, I mean, you have to combine the best of both of those worlds to get a slightly in the middle, but better version than both of them by themselves. That's why you have to combine gold and diamond. And that's the ultimate goal here when we finish this, is to go straight up to gold and diamond. But it's a little bit high, so we're not going to go to that right away. We're definitely going to try to turn this block structure here into all stained clay. I don't think the color matters. It wouldn't make any sense if it did. I suppose another thing to note here is these are probably not default values. So if you have modular systems installed on your game, it might be different for you as well, because you can actually adjust the modifiers and stuff. I can literally, if I knew the command, I could make whatever block I wanted to into whatever stats I wanted it to be. But I'm not going to do that. But I could. So that's the gist of modular machines. We've finally fully understood how these things work now. I know that these numbers are correct because I built like freaking 12 of these stupid things in an attempt to understand whether or not a half stone, half coal was really good, or a half stained clay, half coal, and there was a full-sized machine of it to the left of it, and then full coal machine. It was terrible, of course. I did a full diamond, did a full gold, did a full emerald, and it came down to just being diamond and gold. So, the best setup to go with. I also tried to make them bigger, but it seems to be that it doesn't matter what you do. I'm not sure if it's because of the formula or if it's just because of some weird stuff. I don't know what the rules are. But if I basically make this one block taller, and I guess have 2 empty holes, and I make it out of the same material, there's absolutely no gain or loss. It's the same. I don't understand. So, I'm not going to ever push beyond 3x3. Because why should I? There's no advantage, as far as I can tell. Nor do I really understand it, and it would be even more complicated to figure out the numbers and stuff like that, so I don't want to mess with it. But I should probably turn these into wood. I have 2 more spots for other things that we're going to do. So there's one for a furnace, which might be here or so, or maybe not. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And then one that's going to be a generator. And the thing about the generator is it just creates power out of thin air. So definitely worth investing in. And if we can make a full gold and diamond one, it'll easily surpass the capabilities of that star to produce power. So in the future, we might be running off of modular system generators. Or maybe even just one, if it goes well, I suppose. So that's the modular systems area. It's a pretty good area. I'm pretty pleased with it. Good enough. Alright, let's head down to the next section here. You got your lumber farm. We've all seen the lumber farm. I don't think I showed off... Well, the thing is, I showed off the machine, I believe. I just didn't show off how it works. So basically, the way this machine works, the tree chopper, is... I might have to put more wood in this later. Because I don't want it to burn the birch wood logs. It doesn't really... It's not as efficient as just burning planks. Because they burn for the same time, but they would just destroy them. It's a waste of time. I wouldn't let it automate itself. But that's pretty good there. So, the way this works is I put the block down, and I put it here or here, so, and that was what I did wrong. That's why it didn't make any sense when I was working with it. If you put it in the middle, what it'll do is, I don't know which direction east is, but it'll work towards east, initially. And it'll only work the block on the east. We'll say that this is the east, even though I'm not sure. So, it would only work this block. And if you put in one upgrade, I think its range turns to 2, so it'll include this block. But if you put in another upgrade, I think it goes to 4 maybe, and then it'll include these 2 blocks. And basically the way it goes is, if you upgrade it, it goes around in a circle like this, until you reach this point, which is 9. And then after that, I don't really know what it does. I didn't push it any further because I didn't need to. I only need it to work these 9 tiles. Or, well, 8 around it. I don't know where the 9th one goes, but I think I only put in like 3 or 4 upgrades, so I don't know. But basically, this is the best way to farm trees here. Just put this in the center, put in a few upgrades, put in some planks so that it has fuel, a wood axe. I need to upgrade this box into a stone version and then put stone axes in. It won't take axes from the side. I wish it would. I can put a hopper on it, apparently, and then put the items in, like put axes in the hopper, and it'll fill this over time. And anything else I want to put into, I can put in. And that's pretty much the gist of it. We already understand the sapling setup up there. So, there you go. That's the wood chopper. And this thing is pretty good. It works by itself. Let's get a tree to grow real quick. And have it cut it down. Come on. There you go. I don't know why it removed the bottom block immediately. I think it's supposed to remove the top first. So it'll chop down the tree. Much like always, you know, just punch out the leaves. And it'll collect whatever saplings. And it gets the wood. And then when it's done, chopping it up. And it needs to have an axe throughout all of this. Even at the phase where it plants a tree, when it's done cutting it down, it still needs this axe. It doesn't make sense that, but whatever. It's pretty much like fuel altogether. And then you just plants the tree. Done. So, nice little farm. It works very well. Just need to make sure I keep filling it with some birch logs. I want to make sure I have like 2 or 3 spaces or so of wood planks, so that it doesn't eat up the logs, because like I said, the same burn time. But you can get 4 times the burn out of this wood by turning it into planks. So, definitely need to keep an eye on that. Then we got the crop farm here. And as I said, I was working on watermelons while I was working on this by myself, which is why I've got a crap ton of watermelon canned food. And I understand canned food now, which I didn't understand back when I started it. Each watermelon is worth 1 hunger, right? So I can go up to the watermelon, eat it, efficiently fill up 1 hunger. But if I put them both, because it's 2 in a tin can, I get one of these, a canned food of dehydrated melon. Which doesn't really make sense, seeing as watermelon is water. So, GG. But basically this becomes 2 hunger instead of 1, making it faster than eating just melon, and a bit more space efficient. But it could be better if I made carrots, which are 2 hunger each, and I put 2 of them in, then I get 4 hunger for each can. Way more efficient to do that. So that'll be the main focus of my food. It'll probably be eating carrots a whole bunch. Potatoes are good too, but they're not that amazing. Apples are pretty good. Like, this is really about all you get. And you can't even cook the potatoes, so I don't think these... I think these are probably like 1 hunger each, or even less, possibly. So, literally carrots is the way to go. Or apples. But those are both the same, so I just go with carrots. I wish there was a bit more variety to it, but there isn't. But this will do just fine. Stack of melons, what can you do? So now I just need to farm up some carrots, and then plant them along the way. Because I need to make sure that there are a few carrots growing at a time. But basically right now I'm pretty sustainable food-wise because of melons alone. Which is why it would still be good to have Spice of Life. I mean, I could add it myself, but I don't know if I want to. It feels a little bit wrong to do that. And I also don't know what the hell I'd do. Like, I don't want to get involved with it. I don't really want to bother putting in the effort on that. But I could. I think we get some bone meal, because it'll grow faster. I just want to get a few carrots so I can move along. That was pretty quick. Alright. Alright, good. I only got 1 for each of those. Alright, very good. Alright, good. I need to do something with that carrot now. Alright, well, there you go. There's the farm. I plan to put lily pads over the water so I can walk across the water. But this is about it. I don't think there's going to be all that much here. The farm isn't really all that necessary. I'm going to put lights somewhere, I don't know where. I made sure there was a glass roof. You'll notice also that both of my plant rooms have glass roofs, which I think is really nice for the sunlight, in theory. Because, I mean, they do need sun, normally, in real life. But, you know, that's pretty much how the farms are. And then the last room we have is the power core. And this mostly turned out like I wanted it to. It's not perfect like I wanted it to. I wanted a bit more arc into this, but this works really nice, actually. I plan to change these obelisks into a different form of metal. I think it was tier. I think I was going to make it out of this Tyrian block. And I was going to make them black obelisks. And they'll point at this glass case, and then in the center of this glass case, right here, will be the sun. And I'll just shove it into there. Oh, that's another thing I changed, actually, I just remembered. And then I'll have wire coming down, probably. And then I'll have it wired underneath, maybe. And the entire base will be wired up to this central power location. And then if the sun ever goes supernova, it'll just destroy this section, as far as I know. And that'll be fine. So, that's the power room. I plan to move it, but I need cable so I can redirect the power. So until then, I'm probably not going to move it right away. But that is the gist of all of the stuff that I did while off camera. No, wait, there's 2 more places. So the other thing I changed in a config file was the gravity well. I did not like it, so I turned it off. No longer pulls me towards it, which is good, because it was just annoying. I don't really think there was any true benefit to it. There's a suit designed to avoid gravity wells and stuff like that, but I think it's a bit stupid to have to build a suit to avoid my own machines when I could just encase my machine in what my suit is made of to stop the gravity. I don't really... But that's not in the game. There's a suit, not a box. So I can't package this up and get rid of the gravity. So that's the problem. I have to just kind of deal with that. So I turned it off. Good enough. So that's nice. But this is going to be up in that little orb of glass And that's going to be nice. I look forward to putting it there, and hopefully I won't eat it up before it's too late, because it's getting low on power recently, and I don't want it destroying my base here, and I also don't want to run out of power yet. So soon I'm going to have to look into generation of power. So then here we got the basement. Pretty simple design, much like the surface. And what these two rooms are for, this room will be the oxygenation room. This will collect all of the oxygen for me. So I'm going to put leaves all over the place, and then those machines down here to get the oxygen, and it'll pump upstairs, and then upstairs will be where the oxygen refill will be, and as well as the pipes will go underneath the base and will go to different locations to ensure sealed areas get filled with air. Because when I start sealing the place, I'm going to have to deal with that. But the first places that will ever be sealed are... That's a good point, actually. I didn't consider hatches as a sealant thing. I might have to change that in the configs. So I'm going to have to put a hatch over this anyway. And the way this is going to work is they're going to have sealed areas here. So the very first section I'm going to seal is this main room. And then maybe... I don't know. It's just this room for sure. Until I replace this wood as well, too. I forgot that I can't do it anywhere else where there's wood, because I have my own self-rule about it. I can't be building air facilities in places that I know aren't airtight. I just don't like that. So that's the plan for that. And then the other room in here is for storage. So I plan to put a bunch of chests and sorting chest types all around the walls here, and they'll have to have connectors go in behind the walls secretly, because the sorting chests rely on a few things. They need sorting connectors to connect them all. Allowing the set filters to work for 2. Import pane. Don't know. But basically I have to put these chests and then these in the corners to connect to the other chests. And possibly to the upper ones too. I don't quite know how that'll work. I might have it just connect upward and then continue the same as normal. So basically this whole section of V in the wall here, this corner, will be a wire between all 3 lanes, which will probably be 3 tall. Actually, I don't know because of the roof. And that'll be the plan. Also, I think there's a hammer that can actually put these on their side, because I think I saw someone do that once. I'll have to look into that. I don't quite remember. It was very odd when it happened, and I don't remember it. But that's the basics of what I did. That's pretty much everything. Also, I spent a little bit of time... I used to be able to do this in one go, but I have since failed. There we go. I'll have to consider that. I want to put elevators here, basically, as my future plan, but I need to kill Endermen, and I don't think they show up out here.